Lori and friends are here today to help us with the resolution. Sacramento County has declared the elimination of alcohol and other drug abuse as one of its highest priorities. Research has documented the effectiveness of alcohol and other drug treatment and recovery programs, as well as found that for every dollar invested in treatment, communities reap financial savings due to the reduced costs in criminal justice, health, and welfare intervention, as well as costs to business and industry associated with loss of productivity and absenteeism. So this little bit of a program, I'm just going to say that the board does declare September 2018 as Alcohol and Drug Recovery Month in Sacramento County, and expresses appreciation and support for the good work and assistance provided by alcohol and other drug prevention, treatment, and recovery programs. And I have two resolutions. Do they both go to you, or? Okay. A little easier. Yep.
One, two. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning, Madam Chair and other members of the board. My name is Lori Miller. I am the Alcohol and Drug Services Division Manager with the Department of Health Services. I appreciate the opportunity to come before you this morning to celebrate those in recovery and to help proclaim September 2018 as Alcohol and Drug Recovery Month in Sacramento County. Sacramento County Alcohol and Drug Services is also promoting Recovery Happens. It is the 26th anniversary of the statewide event and rally held at the west steps of the state capitol on September 5th. The event is organized by CCAP, the California Consortium of Addiction Programs and Professionals, to increase awareness and understanding of mental health and substance use disorders, and to honor and celebrate those in recovery. This year's theme, Join the Voices for Recovery, Invest in Health, Home, Purpose, and Community, is so important as it really speaks to the areas that contribute to a person's healing, wellness, living a sober and productive lifestyle, and improving their chances for success. Prevention of substance use disorder treatment works. Recovery is possible, and it is important to bring this awareness to our community. We have 3 testimonials this morning of individuals who are true success stories. They have utilized the county service system and are a living testimony that recovery does happen and people do change their lives. I am very proud and honored to introduce our guest speakers. First, you will hear from Deanna Lopez, 12 years in recovery. She is a court services supervisor with WellSpace Health. Next will be Ron Smith, 12 years in recovery. He is a reentry counselor with the Rio Consumas Correctional Center. And lastly, William Rose, 11 years in recovery. He is a student of social work at the California State University of Sacramento.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is Deanna Lopez, and I have been clean from methamphetamine addiction for over 12 years. I started using drugs when I was only 11 years old. I spent 15 years of my life using drugs. At the end, I was pregnant, unemployed, homeless, and living in my car. I couldn't stop using, and I didn't know how to get help. The day that I finally went into labor was terrifying. I had no prenatal care and used drugs throughout my entire pregnancy. I had no idea what to expect and was horrified at the idea of what may have happened to my baby. On June 17th, 2006, my daughter was born perfectly healthy, and that was my moment of clarity. It was in that moment that I realized maybe God had a plan for my life that was much different than mine. A couple days later, I received a visit from CPS. They were the first ones to offer me help, and I gladly accepted. Once involved with CPS, I began working with a social worker. She was supportive and reassuring. She encouraged me to be healthy for my newborn baby. I was also teamed up with a recovery specialist from the STARS program. She was empathetic, and she never made me feel ashamed about my addiction. I entered treatment at Strategies for Change perinatal program. The focus was helping women with children overcome substance abuse. My counselor encouraged me to set goals for my life. Because of her, I found a job and went back to school. I have an amazing team of people who supported me and taught me to be a woman of integrity. The services I completed inspired me to give back to the recovery community. I began school at CCAP, and I was surrounded by some truly incredible people. I obtained my first job working for New Dawn Recovery Center and eventually became a counselor. After 2 years, I began working at the STARS program along with CPS. the same program that had helped save my life years before. I worked there for 6 years as a recovery specialist, company trainer, and ultimately a supervisor. Currently, I work at Wellspace Health as the court services supervisor for the collaborative courts of Sacramento County. We help provide substance abuse treatment for multiple courts, including mental health court, reentry, adult drug court, Prop 36, and DUI treatment court. 4 years ago, I began teaching as an instructor at CCAP. I now have the opportunity to train future substance abuse counselors. The work we do has directly impacted the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, of people in our community. Today, I'm a mother, a homeowner, an asset to my employers, a friend, and an active participant in the 12-step community. My beautiful daughter is now 12 years old. She is an honor roll student in advanced courses. She has been involved in performing arts, choir, sports, band, student council, and she has even studied multiple languages. It is her personal goal to attend Stanford University, and she has set her sights on a future in law. She is loved and she believes in herself. She knows that anything is possible because she has witnessed the success of her mother and her father, who once had nothing but now have it all. It is in the darkest moments that we find our greatest strength. One of my greatest strengths is now helping others overcome substance abuse and find a new way to live. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. My name is Ron Smith. I'm 54 years old. Been clean and sober for the last 13 years. My drug of choice was crack cocaine for over 10 years. What turned my life to recovery was my mother demonstrated tough love by not letting me in her house one day. Another friend of mine made a statement that you don't want your mom to die while you're on drugs. Certain county services I use included GA, food stamps, clothing and work tool vouchers, Francis House for bus passes and hygiene, Friendship Park for coffee and donuts, Loaves and Fishes for lunch, showers, and clothing exchange, Back to Work program downtown 29th and R, MAP for DUI classes, Salvation Army residential, and Union Gospel Mission shelter. Recovery is important to me because I like being available and present in life. Giving back is what fuels my desire to stay on the path to positive change. Future aspiration for the recovery world is that it's becoming more evident through various outlets such as prison reentry programs, Prop 47 Steps to Success program, and other wraparound services like this show that life on drugs or incarceration is not a fulfilling life at all. Again, I was addicted to cocaine for over 10 years, and the addiction and my compulsive behavior landed me in jail. 8 different drug programs, family separation, divorce, and homelessness, engaging in crime to fuel my addiction. There was a time where I couldn't hold on to $20 without making a beeline to the dope spot. I was a hot mess. But in 2005, I finally began the quest to turn my life around. I learned to overcome the phenomenon of craving to use drugs. With the building of a strong support system, including family, friends, and pursuing a new career, my life has never been the same. I utilized Sacramento shelters, residential treatment facilities, support group meetings, my local church, and going back to school to discover my unique fingerprint to recovery and purpose in life, which all work together to reduce the risk of relapse and recidivism. This all led to eventually working in the prison I used to be locked up in, teaching classes at a drug program I graduated from, and remarrying the love of my life, Cheryl. We were married 8 years, divorced for 8 years, remarried on the 8th month, on the 8th day in 2008. Thank God for new beginnings. Which you can also read about in the new book I just wrote entitled Delivered to Choices, which is available today through Amazon.com. Thanks for your support and inviting me here today.
Good morning. My name is William Rhodes, and I'm 57 years old, and currently I'm a social work major at Sacramento State University. But I'm also a recovering addict. But before I begin, I'd like to thank Professor Elizabeth Contreras, who presented me with this opportunity to speak here today. And I'd like to thank the board for having me, and it's hoped that my story of addiction and recovery can somehow offer some insight into the personalized struggles of addiction. and hopefully the value of rehabilitation and recovery programs. Having said that, my story of addiction is probably similar to that of many other addicts. I used drugs for over 20 years, and those drugs include PCP, LSD, crack cocaine, and speed. The genesis of my contact with drugs, I believe, can be traced to the all too familiar feelings of trying to fit in with the wrong crowd, but also the common frustrations associated with issues surrounding race and socioeconomic status and poverty. Social factors that I believe strongly influence some of the bad choices that I've made in life. But having said that, if I would describe my personal experiences of addiction to you today, I would describe it in this way. It's like you step into a black hole and you begin to fall faster and faster into the darkness. At first you try to brace yourself and stop yourself, but you panic, realizing that you're powerless to do so. So you eventually give up and let go. As you accelerate into the darkness, you lose yourself. And at some point you forget who you were, and perhaps you become something different altogether. When many people speak of addiction, they often make reference to hitting bottom. For me, that bottom involved the loss of a very good job, but more importantly, the loss of precious and valuable relationships, some that are still in disrepair today. But the eventual loss of my freedom, my ultimate problem. But while I was going through this period, I read this quote that said, and it kind of put things in perspective for me. It said, sometimes you have to lose your life in order to find your life. And while incarcerated, I spent several years in recovery programs trying to figure out and connect the dots as to the hows and why. How and why did I end up in such a dark place? And as a result, I thought I was a person of no value. But in recovery programs, I met professionals, counselors, and therapists that somehow made me believe in myself again. And I think they were able to do this by simply giving me that unconditional positive regard without judgment, listening with sincere empathy and genuine concern to my story, and meeting me exactly where I was in my journey, not where they wanted me to be, excuse me. But more importantly, they kept reinforcing the fact that if I could somehow separate myself from the many tragic manifestations of addiction, a person of value would be found at the core of my person. And I had to believe that, and I was challenged morally, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. And this experience not only restored my belief in myself again, but in the goodness and humanity. Humans helping other humans because it's the right thing to do. It's this belief in the goodness and humanity and the self-righting abilities of the individual, I believe, is what the heart of what rehabilitation recovery is all about. There are a lot of good people buried beneath the throes of addiction. Addiction is a very serious social problem that's affecting our communities. One of the reasons that I wanted to speak here today, and my overall message is this: rehabilitation recovery is about saving lives. It's about the people who are momentarily giving up on themselves and need advocates, inspirations, and collaborators in order to change their life. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Lori, is that your entire presentation? Okay, well, thank you very much, all of you, for coming in and telling us your stories. It's helpful to know when we usually hear the other side of it, so it's good to know that there is potential for recovery. It's very nice. Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Mr. Sterling.
Thank you. Yeah, I do want to express my thanks for you being here and being so forthright about your experiences. And we, on occasion, here in these chambers, hear these types of testimonials, and perhaps once in a while we'll hear them out in our districts when we're visiting clinics or talking to folks, even on the campaign trail. But these are some of the most poignant reminders of not just the fragility of who we are as human beings, but certainly how strong we are and can be. And so I would just, if you're not doing it, please spread the word beyond these chambers, and I'm sure you're probably doing that. But my office is open to you as a resource to help do that, certainly in the district I represent. I have certainly been very affected by hearing testimonials from others, including those that are addicted to opioids. We all know how deep that challenge is for this community, for communities across the country. And I've seen some incredible willpower expressed by those who have overcome addiction. So I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, and please lean on us, lean on me to help you do it.
Mr. Montoya.
Yeah, I would just add that very powerful words, very powerful stories, and thank the three of you for sharing. I know you have others who could share similar stories, but your life stories thus far, I think, are show the fragility of human nature, but also show the willpower and determination, and that I think is a couple of you alluded to. One of you said very clearly. I think the humanity that's shown to one another, that people can come out of that darkness, and again, your words and your life stories are helping others to do that. So you're quite an inspiration, and I was very moved this morning by your thoughts, your comments, and sharing that. So thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you all. Okay, we have some